Welcome back, everybody. Take a look at this transom. Almost completely ready for a new one to be installed. Stay tuned for that episode too, by the way. It's going to be pretty neat. If you saw yesterday, this whole entire area was just completely coated in that fiberglass dust. It's a complete mess. I ended up taking the hose in here along with the broom and kind of just help clean up the entire area, because it was starting to get to the point where I couldn't really tell what was dirty, what was sanded down, and what wasn't. It's just too much work. So I decided, why not just water it, hit it with the hose and go from there. And I'm pretty happy with the results. The only sad part about this is it's just going to get dirty all over again. As soon as you turn that grinding wheel on, and you can kind of see up here on the front half, it's just going to get all dirty again. But it's like one of those things, it's better to try to keep it as clean as you can for as long as you can. And then as needed, most likely, the best way to do it is at the end of the day, because you can let it dry in here. So where are we at? You can see right here, we made it about roughly 5 feet or so, and you can kind of see I'm putting a little bit of a radius on both sides. Not too much. I'm not trying to overkill. My goal is obviously to get the existing wood out and then kind of give it a get rid of this lip. Same thing on this side. We'll get rid of that too. The other piece I like to tell you about is where, so this is the bulkhead. You notice where I kind of took out about 3 inches. I talked about this in my prior video. On a prior boat build, what I actually did was, you can kind of see the dark spots here where the foam was. I actually, in my prior build that I did, I sanded the entire thing down. Left, right, all the way to the front. The boat on the bottom it looked like this from front to back. The problem with doing that is, number one, it's a lot of work, and the second piece is it's really completely unnecessary. So as you're undertaking the same exact process yourself and trying to figure out, well, how much do I grind in here? Keep that into consideration. We cut that much of the gel coat back, and then this is where the bulkhead is, and this is the pass through where the water goes out, and then this is where the fuel tank was. You want to grind out about 3 inches here, so you can lay your 1708 on this side, and this side I'll probably grind a little bit more, create a better edge. And then this is kind of like leftover grime from the foam that was put in here. I'll grind about 3 inches here. And you have the template already, because you know where the old bulkhead was. So that's kind of where you can start making your mark of where you want to grind. Because if you're going to sit in here and grind every little square inch, you're going to be here for a long time. I don't recommend it. And you're going to get just as good results if you do versus if you don't. So keep that in mind. Like I said, we got 3 inches here. I'm going to put and grind about 3 inches over here, just enough to cut this this grime out, so we get good adhesion right here. It's going to be kind of the goal, and that's pretty much it. I'm going to show you, hopefully on this video, how I collected all the runoff that went through that drain hole. I'll give you some tips on how to do that. Super cheap way. You'll like it, especially if you're doing this in an environment where you don't want to just let that fiberglass dust just go out and about throughout your driveway or wherever you happen to be doing this. Another thing too, which I forget every time I rebuild a boat, is if you're in an area where there's other people around you, they're going to report to you that there is a huge white haze around you. So keep that in mind if you're grinding in maybe a neighborhood. I don't know, maybe I know this other YouTuber, he had done all his work in a neighborhood, and I don't really understand how he was able to get away with it, because as you're grinding, it creates a huge haze and a dust cloud above you, and it gets on everything, especially outside the boat. I'm over top of a canopy myself here, so I'm able to kind of deflect some of that. But you will definitely run into an issue if you're in a urban area where there's other people around you. Someone's eventually going to complain because their car or truck is covered with white itchy material. All right, keep that in mind. So from here, let's go ahead and continue sanding a little bit. I'm going to try, my goal is to see if we can sand down all the stringers all the way down. I did find a little oopsie, and I'll save that for the next video. It's kind of over here. We did have a little oopsie, and we'll talk about how we're going to fix it. So let's go ahead and keep grinding here. Phew! Let me tell you something, guys and girls. This is some hard work. Look at all this dust. You can see where I was just sitting over there. See if I can get it in the shot here. This dust gets everywhere. What I have been doing every night that I'm done working in here, I go through and actually clean my mask, just because this dust kind of gets up in the head guard up here and around in certain areas, and you know, you want to try to keep it clean. You don't want to get that dust in this side here. And you can see as well, you kind of want to keep a rag around you, because after a while you start saying, oh, it's just really hard to see. And really what it is, you're coated in dust, your mask is. So anyway, take a look at our progress. This is kind of what I call day 2 of grinding. It's pretty crazy, but just take your time. I've almost gone through, it looks like I'm on my 7th grinding wheel, so I'm quickly going through 10. It's a lot faster than I thought I was. So keep that in mind as you're doing your project. Make sure you get plenty of grinding wheels. All right, so we have officially ground down all the stringers. There were a total of, I believe, 2 on each side. Those were all ground down. A lot of work to do it, to get it done correctly. Now we did find some iffies. As I talked about earlier, it's kind of over there. We'll talk about it in the next episode. So what do we have left? We're going to grind where the floor used to be, over there. We have a little bit more on this side. And then, the next little pieces we're going to do are right up there. So those are going to be a little fun. Now, I think what I'm going to do up there is I am going to take my oscillating blade, with what I know about grinding so far, is I'm probably going to use my oscillating blade to try to take a little bit more off of that, because using the grinder maybe a little tough. I don't know, we'll figure it out, because when I put the new floor in, it may not be at the same height anyway, so we'll take that one a little further. We'll put some more thought into it. We'll see. All right, so here's what to expect on the next episode here. This is going to be a bonding surface down here, so this is going to need to be ground as well. We're going to grind up on this side. Same thing over here. That's going to need to be ground. This whole entire gel coat all the way around is going to need to be ground down. Once we have these 3 sections ground down, we complete the left side and the right side over there. we could probably start considering putting in the transom. I know, it's not that far away. As if you've been watching, I don't know which episode we're in here. I think it may be 27, 28 now. We've come a long way since there used to be a floor here. There used to be a motor on that side. So we've come a long way. And definitely appreciate you all sticking in with me here on the series, because there's a lot to learn. This isn't my first time doing this, so I figured, you know, I ought to produce a good series for other people to see how it's done right. Let's jump outside the boat. I'm going to show you how I'm capturing all of this runoff when I use the hose in here. Okay, so here it is. You can see it's basically like a little kids pool that you would find at, you know, your local recreational store, maybe Walmart. And what I did was I just cut little slits down here, and what it does is it allows for the water to come out the bottom. I wouldn't drill, because if you drill, the stuff will come out, but look here, you can see it kind of stays, and you don't get it all over your yard. And then effectively you can take and dump this out, or maybe just throw the whole thing away, kind of up to you. But that's how I'm capturing it. If you notice the ground around it, it's still pretty clean. So just some ideas. You can see on my grinding wheels, after I'm done, I clearly throw them out the side of the boat, so I don't mistake them for new ones. Okay, so that is going to do it for this episode. Like I said, all the stringers are now ground down. We got a few more little pieces here up front that need to be ground down a little bit. And from there, we will start measuring and putting in new marine grade plywood. You'll like that part of the series, because that's where it gets really neat. Things start really coming together, and we're almost done with the demo phase. So stick with me on this journey here, and you'll see some really cool results. As always, if you like what you see, like the video, subscribe if you're not already a member, and we'll catch you on the next episode. Have a good one, everybody.